With the 2021-22 season fast approaching here at Hartsdown Park, we took time to catch up with Margate chairman and academy manager Ricky Owen to talk all things Margate. Good afternoon, Ricky. First of all, thanks for your time this afternoon. Been club chairman now for near on 2 months. How's it been going?
Well, as you know, Ryan, there's always so much to do. Lots and lots to be done, but it's been a busy but smooth start, I think. I worked very closely with Terry, so that's made it easier. Obviously, that transition over to me being chairman from vice chair, it's been quite smooth. So yeah, very very busy start, but smooth start as far as I'm concerned. So all good.
And the season isn't far away now, just a few weeks till we kick off the league opener.
Yeah.
As a club, what are the hopes and expectations for the upcoming season?
Well, first and foremost, we hope we can actually see a full season. You know, it's been massively disrupted, obviously, the last 2 years, not completed. So I think everyone just wants to see football back consistently, safely as well. You know, not at any cost, because there's bigger things to put into the picture as well. But what we really want to see is that full season completed first and foremost. Then going forwards, what I would like to see, certainly this season, and then looking forward to next season as well, is a settled squad. So consistency and retaining players. So we see more players like Ben Swift, who clock up a lot of games for the club, who are, you know, real Margate players year in, year out. I think if we can retain more of the squad this year, build on it next year, I think that gives Jay the foundations to really kick on. And I think, obviously at non-league, high turnover of players is not something that's unique to us. It happens at lots of clubs, but the clubs that I think keep a nucleus of players, you generally see that they're the ones that can build and kick on. So I'd like to see that happen. And as I say, a few more like Swifty who start to clock up a lot of games for the football club. Beyond that, in terms of ambitions for the league, if that's what you're getting at, I think we should be ambitious. I think we should be positive, but with a little bit of realism chucked in there as well. I think at all levels, Premier League, all the way down, anywhere in the world, it's normally the teams with the biggest budgets that are towards the top of the league. And I don't think it will be any different this year in our league. There'll be certain teams that will be very, very strong. But I expect us to be competitive, and I think we would all like to see us fighting for a playoff place. You know, that's what we would all like to see. Jay's not the sort of manager that, you know, sits back and is happy with mid-table. He's going to drive them forward. He wants to win. He wants to go up. The owner's exactly the same, and as a board, that's what we want as well. So it's not going to be easy. I think that we have to be realistic, but we would love to be fighting for those playoff places. That's what I'd like to see.
So plenty of ambition ahead of the new season then, Ricky. What's been particularly highlighted, especially you come up here on a Saturday morning before a home match, the youth section seems to have really integrated further with the club more recently, in particular since becoming chairman yourself as well. How important is that to you, and how much do you want to see that improve even further moving forward?
Yeah, it's massively important to me. One of the most important things. Before I was chairman, it's always something that I've pushed, and I think even 4 years ago when I first came in, it's something we've worked hard on to integrate the youth section back in, because prior to that it wasn't really happening. So I think lots been improved on even in the previous 4 years. But you know, right now I think the youth section have gone through some changes themselves recently. Leon Friend has stepped aside, and I must say Leon's done a fantastic job with the youth section over recent years. So, you know, fair play to Leon for how much he's drove that youth section forward. Dan Winsbury has now come in and taken over as chair, and I think when I became chairman, Dan was one of my first phone calls. And you know, we want to get back to doing all the things we should be doing with our youth section. It's not main club and youth section. We are one club with lots of different teams, and there is no segregation. This is their home. We want to see them back playing here as much as possible. And part of that is making sure that they're engaged in as many different ways as they can. So mascots, ball boys, understanding the player pathway right through the club. The opportunities that are there for them, and we, in future years, we want to make sure that becomes a reality, and we see players moving through the ranks, and if they're good enough, one day being out there with the senior team. So yeah, massive part of the club for me, the youth section.
And you talk about player pathway, which almost leads us perfectly into the next question. Obviously, you're academy manager as well as chairman, so plenty of jobs. How's the academy going? And can Margate fans watching this expect to be seeing, some players from your academy starting for the first team this season, next season?
Well, never say never. We've got a new crop coming in. Let's see how they perform. Mm-hmm. If they can come in and support the first team and be around and bulk out that squad, then that'll be fantastic. But we'll see how those boys go. I think the boys going out, we've had some fantastic academic results this year. If you look at the university placements, full credit to the boys, Ben Thornby, Seb Gallagher, Callum Edwards, all those boys that are moving on. They've worked incredibly hard. They've had their 2 years of football disrupted as well, so they probably haven't had the opportunities that they would have had. But academically, they've stuck to it, and we've got some fantastic results this year. Going forwards, we're growing again. So, we're hoping to have 2 teams running in September, which we haven't had before. So, numbers-wise, it's growing. We still need to improve on the football front. There's always room for improvement. And if we can do that, I hope in years to come that it will be a more supportive thing for Jay in the first team, which it should be. Pleased with how it's going, but obviously more work to do, more improvements to make.
But it was important for you today to highlight how important and how good the academic sort of side to that academy has been, and the guys that you mentioned there have come through and they've done really well, haven't
they? Absolutely. Sam Anderson is going off to the University of Kent studying media. Kyle Simmons, I think University of Kent as well, law. Ben's got on a radiography degree. Callum's going to UCFB at Wembley. It's fantastic. These guys aren't just coming in playing football for 2 years and then out the door. They're being helped to move on with their pathway, their career, and that's what it's all about. Making sure that when they leave, they've got something they can actually use and kick on and go and get a career with.
And something that's been really important to the club in the past and continues to be so, Ricky, is the work it does within the community. So how do you envisage that growing over the coming months and years?
Yeah, it's definitely an area we want to grow, and we should grow as a football club, definitely. Through the charitable trust as well, we need to be doing more work. I think if you look at this coming season, we've got the Young Carers project running again, funded by the Collier Ferguson Trust. We had that running pre-COVID, and now it's back. We're rewarding local young carers for the work they do, recognising how much they give up. So that's going to be launched again this season. We have the goodie bags that was launched a few weeks ago, where people can win lots of different equipment for their local club or organisation. We've had some fantastic applications. Charlotte was telling me about them, and in the coming weeks we'll be contacting the winners. So that's again a real nice gesture. We've also got Golden Ticket running, which is going to involve lots of the local primary schools. Real fun initiative where we hope to see lots of young people accessing the club for free. More information is going to come out about that over the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, we just want to build on everything we're doing, and hopefully in the coming months you'll see some other projects announced as well.
Brilliant. Certainly lots to watch out for in terms of the community work then. We'll come on to the stadium. I think probably be shot if I didn't ask any questions about that. So what can fans expect? Where is the stadium at? We know the Secretary of State has approved. Are we likely to see any changes to Heartstand Park this upcoming season? What can you tell us and the supporters watching this interview?
Listen, I know there's been people associated with this club a long time, a lot longer than I've been around. Yourself being one of them. So I know people have waited a long time, and I understand why some people might be nervous and a little bit sceptical. Is it going to happen? So I get it. But what I would say is our current owner in 4 years has probably pushed it forward and achieved more in 4 years than anyone has done previously. 3G pitch, bought the freehold, it's just got new planning permission. He's he's actually done quite a lot in the space of 4 years. So yeah, now we're moving on to the next phase. I have to say, Chris Chambers, Denny, also our accountant John, they've been doing a lot of work in recent weeks to try and make the next phase a reality. That will involve new changing rooms. That is the first step, going over between the fives beyond the main stand, with then players coming out through the main stand. That is the next step. If we can make that happen, then it allows us opportunity to then obviously remove the old changing rooms, clear that area, and archaeology can start in that area. So I can't give definite dates. All I can say is people that are working extremely hard. We're not ruling out something happening during this season. We would love to see something happen during this season, but we're going to have to see how things progress. So that's probably as much as I can say at this point.
Ricky, you mentioned some hard-working people already here at the club. I believe you have an announcement for us this afternoon regarding somebody else joining the board of directors here at Margate.
Yeah, so Steve Alban is going to be joining. He's going to be joining the board. It's a familiar name with supporters. Supported the club for a long, long time. Certainly has the best interests of the club at heart. So we think he's a good fit. He's coming in. He's looking at 2 specific roles that are needed for the league. So he's going to be looking at welfare and also a role involving diversity and equality. He's going to be fulfilling those roles for the club. And yeah, me and Chris and the owner are delighted to have Steve on board. I'm sure he'll be an asset for us moving forwards.
That's brilliant, Ricky. Thanks for your time this afternoon. We really appreciate
No problem. Thank you,
everything, and we look forward to catching up during the season.
Thank you.